here in the Metacritic Roundup, we're going to take a look at 3 video games, really 2 games and 1 expansion. First up, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, parentheses, 2022, end parentheses. This game's kind of weird. People had access to it, like the public had access to the campaign. A lot, like you could, if you pre-ordered the game, I think you got access to it. Or if you did other stuff, you could access the campaign. It's been kind of a weird rollout. So there aren't like a whole lot of devoted scores to the game yet. But on the PS5, it has a score of an 83. And on the PC, it has a score of an 86. There's no Xbox Series X score on Metacritic, although there's been just one score, which is an 80 from purexbox.com. This game, we talked about a little bit last week. I have played the entirety of the campaign here. Are you interested in touching this, Justin?
I feel like the only thing I would be interested in touching would be the campaign of this. Just because like I don't necessarily have time to invest in a shooter like this, because I feel like the big draw to Call of Duty is always like the multiplayer. It's like you want to get your yearly update for it. And with it being just the single player game, those are always like, I don't know, like fun gallery shooters, but like there's not much to them ever, in my opinion. Is that this case?
I found that like for me, I sort of view like Call of Duty in the same vein as I do like Uncharted, where like they're fun enough when you're playing them, but I really don't ever think about them ever again. I spoke about that, like I was pretty critical of it last week, and I think all of that remains true now that I have finished the campaign. However, like I do think that it has a much stronger second half than the first half. In the first half, there are a lot of missions that are 3 minutes, like just straight up 3 minutes of being shunted down a corridor where you really don't have a whole lot of like agency, or there's not a lot of shooting going on. And then it all comes to a head with this one mission where you're in ghillie suits. You know, those are like the outfits that make you look like you're a mound of like grass and stuff. And that mission's about 45 minutes. And to be completely honest with you, it's fucking awful. It is a stealth mission in a video game that is not a stealth game. Like Call of Duty has been leaning more into its stealth mechanics as of late, and they just don't have any. Like it's just like you are either spotted or you're not spotted, and like the rules for like distracting enemies is really, really they're not good. What I'm trying to say is like I do not find the stealth in these games to be good at all, and they really excel when they are allowing you to be a shooting gallery, which is what it turns into in the second half. After that mission, you get a mission called Blood and Timing, or Violence and Timing, which is great, where you're driving cars and stuff. But IGN gave this like a 6 out of 10, and people were like throwing a little fit about it. And to be honest, I think that's warranted. I don't think it's a very like, I think it's a pretty snooze-worthy. It's got a pretty good second half, like I said, but to get there, there's just a lot of like tedium and stuff like that.
Is there like, in terms of the actual campaign, you said like there's stealth mission and stuff. Are there like specific mechanics that are only found in the single player, and maybe that's the wrong question, but like, do they like start playing up on some different things other than it just being kind of like your shooter?
So I haven't played Warzone, but I imagine that some of the mechanics in there are from that. So you can craft items in this game, and by that I mean in one level. There is a level where you get all your stuff taken away, and you are stealthing through a city, and you are trying to avoid the army that is like running through the city. And so you have to like find resources and craft stuff, and it's a pretty open-ended level, which I thought was pretty cool. But it's just really weird because like that sort of stuff does not ever come up again. It's just in that one scene, in that one mission. And that one also relies on a lot of the stealth mechanics that I was talking about, which just are completely undefined. You know, in a good game, like you want to define like, okay, here's how the game is going to be played, right? And it does introduce you to some stealth mechanics early on, but they're not like super clear. And they're definitely not as in-depth as you would want them to be for an open-ended level like that. But I assume that's Warzone stuff. I don't know for sure or not, but to me it read like one of those things where it's like, is this what you guys want? Like, I don't know. Just make a Call of Duty game. I think just do that. And if you want to add a bunch of Warzone crafting stuff, like just do it, but put it in the full game. Don't just do one level.
And I would be interested too, because like initially, what Call of Duty was that when they didn't have a single player story, game story in it?
Black Ops 4.
It was Black Ops 4, and that was partially based on a lot of things, but I'm sure they felt confident canceling it when it wasn't quite coming together because people don't play it as much as the single player, right? Like the amount of people who play the single player and the amount of people who play the multiplayer do not equal. They do not add up. And because people are really jazzed about the multiplayer all the time. So they're making these games that are just very like in your face, like popcorn actiony kind of movies, but I don't feel like it's like reaching the gamers like you or me, who maybe aren't quite looking for that kind of experience. Like we want a shooter that makes you think a little bit, in the gameplay, mechanics that build off of each other, but it's such a slice in the life moment that you don't even really like. I don't feel like by the time I play these single player campaigns, I'm suddenly better at the multiplayer because they like give you weapons that you can't power up the same way. They like kind of give you sometimes these power fantasies in ways that you don't have in the multiplayer. So it's really kind of like a strange connection between these two. All the time that I've noticed in my past with Call of Duty, though, to be fair, I haven't played anything since the World War II one. What was that one?
Which one? Call of Duty World War II?
Is that
or Vanguard?
Vanguard.
Oh, from last year?
No, World War II.
Okay. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the strength of the Call of Duty campaigns tends to be the set pieces, and I just didn't really find there to be a whole lot of like excellent set pieces in this. I will say though, like if people are going to play the campaign, I feel like the Modern Warfare series is the one to do because these are reoccurring characters, and I've never played the original Modern Warfare 2. I played the original Modern Warfare 1 and 3. Because when you're a kid and you only have access to the games you have, like
it's your whole world right there.
Yeah, so I missed out on the second one, but to my understanding, like people revere that second one as like a big moment in video games. And I just don't think that this is that. Mostly because you're missing the villain of the Modern Warfare series, Makarov.
Yeah.
Who's like he's the villain throughout that whole series, and like people really liked that. People really liked the characters, and so to bring like the protagonists back in Modern Warfare 2, the reboot, but not to bring back such an iconic villain, I think is something of a misstep because it just feels like if you're trying to appeal to these people, like you got to appeal to another part of what makes that so iconic. And the villain in this is just forgettable, and they're just like he's a terrorist. And you're like, okay, fine.
Like, is this like a reboot?
It is a reboot. Spoilers for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Wait. This one or like the other one?
Yeah, this one.
Just checking. Like,
I will. If you are uninterested in hearing spoilers, because I'm about to spoil the fucking shit out of this, go ahead and go to the time code in the description of this episode. You have been warned. Here come the spoilers. The post-credit scene for this game is everything gets resolved. The final mission is set in Chicago, by the way, and it's hysterical because it's like you see the Sears Tower, you see the Hancock Building, and they're like, it's Chicago, you get it.
Wait. What tower?
Excuse me, the Willis Tower.
Wait, didn't they change the name again? I was going to make a joke. No, I actually don't know.
The U.S. Cellular Tower. I don't know what it is.
Okay, the guaranteed rate.
Exactly. So you see the Sears Tower, you see the Hancock Building, and they're like, it's Chicago, right? And I'm like, kind of. It doesn't, like, other than that, it just like looks like city. But you finish the game, and then it cuts to all the characters drinking in a bar with like the CIA operative who's like walking them through the whole mission. And she's basically like, and they're talking about like, so like Russians took all the missiles or what? Because that gets revealed at the very end. And she's like, yeah, we found this guy. He's a new guy. Like, we don't know who he is, but he seems to be a big threat. And she shows them a picture of him. And they all pass the picture back and forth. And Captain Price leans in and he goes, he's not new. he's old. And she's like, what do you mean? And he goes, that guy, we know him. That's Makarov. And then like cuts to black. So they're teasing that he's going to be back. And then the post-credit scene is a guy in an airplane. And he's assembling a plastic gun out of like different parts of his like he hid all these plastic elements to build a handgun on his body. So like from his watch and from like the seatbelt and like all sorts of stuff. And then he gets a text from someone that says from someone named like M on his phone. And it said like, you ready? And he's like, I'm ready. And then and then the text goes, remember, no Russian. And then he gets up with the gun and then he walks down the seat.
Oh, I was online thinking you're talking about Magneto, because wouldn't that be the fucking twist of the century? Like M is Magneto, got your plastic shit going.
Oh my gosh, I would lose my shit, Justin. Oh my gosh, no. So like it is clear that they are going to be doing a Modern Warfare 3 and that Makarov is going to be in it. But I guess my problem with waiting. Sorry, did you mind that I spoiled that for you? I assumed you weren't going to play this.
You know what? You could have just said it right now. I will edit this video. I will listen to it a little bit, and I will still forget that this even happened when we go back
Perfect.
and I play the game whenever I do. So don't worry.
It's just it's like you are rebooting this series, right? To update it for a even more modern era than the modern era from what, like 2008 or 2009 when that first Modern Warfare came out. Like, yeah, combat has changed a lot in the past 10 years or even, at this point, like 14, 15 years, maybe. I don't remember when that first one came out, but like there's been a lot of change in the way that we do warfare. Right. And so I think having a reboot like that is interesting, but to do it with the same cast of characters is also cool, but like keep the villain, man, like make it another trilogy about the villain, because I think that would be really cool. And I think that if you're going to reboot this series, take these same characters and do it. Otherwise you're just going to, I think, have this third game is going to come out and the bad guy wasn't properly built up to, you know what I mean? Like it's just a series of unconnected events that I guess lead to Makarov showing up, but I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
So was the Modern Warfare, the last Modern Warfare that came out, was that a remake or a reboot or a remaster of the original?
So, okay, that was so they have done Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 remastered.
Okay.
Which is the old game, but made to look good.
Okay.
Like made to look pretty.
Yes.
And then there was Modern Warfare Reboot in 2019, which is a completely new game.
Different.
It's a reboot of the series, but it's the same characters.
Okay.
And then this game, Modern Warfare 2, is a sequel to that reboot. So my friend Matt texts me and he's like, dude, they re-released like this remake for Modern Warfare 2 just came out. And I was on vacation, so I didn't immediately respond to him. And like 15 minutes later, he's like, let me pull up exactly how he worded this, because I was like, oh no, like this, he's not alone in this at all. Yeah. Okay. So he texts me like, he's like, are you playing the new Modern Warfare 2? I think that's how I'm going to spend my Sunday. And I said, I played it this past week. I liked it for what it was. And he says, okay, yay. And then, yeah. So that was Saturday at 9:45 a.m. And then Saturday at 6:22 p.m. He goes, am I stupid? Like, am I dumb? This isn't a fucking remaster of Modern Warfare 2. This is a completely different game with the same characters. Am I the only one who thought this was going to be the same game just with newer graphics and mechanics? I'm so upset. And I was like, no. Like, that is confusing. Like, I think you can buy it on the PlayStation Store, and like you can, but it's like really hard to find now. And like,
this is like trying to explain to your grandparents like you want an Xbox and they don't understand like what to get you, so they just like get you a 360, and then you like Christmas is ruined. You have a 360 and you wanted a Series X.
It is just so like needlessly confusing. I don't know. Like, I sort of feel like they should have called it something else. Like if they were going to like really go like. The Modern Warfare route, like call it anything else. I don't know, like
modern
Warfare
combat?
in there. Yeah, something like that. Just I don't know. Although unrelated specifically to Modern Warfare, Phil Spencer has said that as long as there is a PlayStation out there to ship it to, they're going to be releasing Call of Duty to PlayStation.
Well, see, that's a semantic game. He meant PlayStation 1. He's like, just he's messing with all of us. He's like, I'm not lying, guys. We're going to send it out on the PlayStation 1. Good luck playing it, but you could put it in.
And he likened it to Minecraft by saying, like, you know, since we acquired Minecraft, like, not only have we continued to support it on PlayStation, but we brought it to even more platforms and everything like that.
They're gonna make money. Like they're not gonna.
They're gonna make a lot of money. Yeah. So this was on a podcast, the Same Brain podcast. They had I'm looking at a YouTube link here. I don't know if they're on like Spotify and whatever. Oh yeah, they are. But yeah, he came out and he said that, and he basically just said like, I just want to get ahead of this. Yes, we are releasing everything on whatever, but. So there you go, Modern Warfare 2. If you like Call of Duty, play it. Like if you like that reboot, I'd say play it. It seems like it's probably not as good as the first one, but at the end of the day, like it is more of that sort of stuff. And I think that the final twist was fun for what it promises in the future. But